After 45 years of dedicated service, respected Choudhry Munir Sahib returned to his Creator on May 26, 2024. As a missionary of Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya, Choudhry Munir Sahib served in various roles of service, but a large portion of his life was spent in service of MTA International. Under guidance of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih IV, Rahimahullah, Choudhry Munir Sahib played an instrumental role in setting up the transmission of MTA to the entire American continent.
अगर जब उनको खलीफुल मसीह राबे रहमतुल्लाह ताला ने अर्थ स्टेशन में तकरीर फरमाई तो इस हर चीज़ का गहराई में जाकर मुतालिया किया और उसको फिर इंतहाई कामयाबी तक ले गए। 29 साल तक इन्होंने MTA की खिदमत की, बावजूद के इतना अरसा इनको दिल की बीमारी भी रही। अब ये नॉर्थ अमेरिका, साउथ अमेरिका में इनकी वजह से ही MTA प्रोग्राम बड़े आराम से देखे जा सकते हैं।
He was a missionary that many engineers would say that he had more knowledge than engineers. So this is how much Allah has blessed, that he went and studied this in a way which made this so much. And no engineers that we contacted, you know, they always told us that this person cannot be a missionary or does not have formal studies in satellite engineering.
Under the direction of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih IV, may Allah have mercy on him, work commenced to identify how the MTA signal from London could be received clearly for viewers in North America.
Hazur's instruction came to Naseem Mehdi Sahib that it is very expensive in America to broadcast khutbah through a company in New York only for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So think about our own station in Canada, so we can rebroadcast the signal ourselves. And Hazur instructed Naseem Mehdi Sahib to appoint Munir on this project, and he should do research and propose a solution for the station.
So you've mentioned how Munir Sahib, Rabbi Sahib at that time, was in Eastern Canada. You yourself were a student in Eastern Canada, and this was given over to Canada. But the Earth Station is located in Washington, D.C. now. Can you tell us how exactly that came up? What's the story on that?
We found that in Canada, there are crown corporations that are controlled by the government, and they have monopoly over which signal can be received and turned around.
We were thinking of installing our station in Toronto. One night before, when we had a final meeting and we were willing to give the check, gentleman called me from Teleset and he said, Munir, tomorrow's meeting is cancelled because I don't know, but I have been asked to cancel it and we cannot offer you this service.
Hazur, when he saw the report, he said that basically, I'm just paraphrasing, that there was a letter sent that it's as if I'm coming to your home and knocking your door and you're not opening the door. So if you can't find anything in Canada, go to the US.
So Hazur instructed Naseem Mehdi Sahib that send Munir with the proposal to Washington, and I know you can get license in America fairly quickly. Hazur said that instead of having an Earth station next to the border, install Earth station in the vicinity of Baitur Rahman.
This is the, I would say, the foresight of the Khalifa of the time, that Allah, He prays and Allah guides us, and we were given this way because now we knew where we could focus. So Alhamdulillah, at that time, we brought in some engineers to see if the signal could be seen from the property, and Alhamdulillah, the signal was received on the property of Baitur Rahman Mosque.
So Alhamdulillah, you've made the request for proposals, you have an actual site in mind now.
We had a unique scenario within our Jamaat, and our requirements was quite simple. We needed the signal to come from MTA International. We needed to be able to receive it. To receive the signal, we needed a very large dish. So we're not talking about a small 3-foot dish. We needed a 24-foot dish.
Wow.
We need an architect and everything else to actually be able to dig, put a lot of rebar, the right strength to be able to hold this behemoth of antenna satellite dish that they can receive the signals from. So we had a daunting task in front of us, We were told it would take up to a year, or could take up to a year. We said this is around, I would say, March, April time, all right? And we said impossible, because Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Rabbi Rahimahullah was supposed to come in mid-October to inaugurate the mosque.
Masjid Baitur Rahman,
which is on the site,
yes.
and that was also in its completion phases. And at the same time, we were to inaugurate the Earth Station. All these things were just confirmed, and they were just happening. And we ran into many, many challenges during this time, because once you're digging these things, it's not just digging. You need to dig, call the inspector. He needs to see the digging. Then you need to put the rebar. Then he comes again. Then he comes again to see when you pour the concrete, and then he'll come again to see the final inspection is done. So it's about a month and a half if everything goes well, technically. And nothing goes according to plan in construction. We had contractors starting to dig. And once we did that, we called the inspector, and he came. And once he came, he said, call me once you have put the rebar. We said, okay. So the rebar would take a week and a half. We put it in 48 hours. Once we put it in 48 hours, we called him back, and there were still about 2-3 different steps to do. And when he came one morning at early morning at 6 a.m., I said, where are you from? He said, I'm from Nigeria. I said, really? I said, I also had some time spent in Nigeria in my very younger years. So we started talking, and we started to have a connection. After some time, he mentioned to me that his parents are Ahmadis. So then I explained to him what this MTA is, how we're going to receive the signal, why it's so important, and what are the steps that are remaining to get this Earth Station ready. We cannot install anything until he gives the final approval. I have to say that this is the hand of Allah. He said to me, listen, I want you to continue working, and don't call me. You finish the work, I'll come and check and sign it. So alhamdulillah, that month and a half of work was done within 2 weeks of time. That was very inspiring.
In October 1994, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih IV, may Allah have mercy on him, inaugurated the Baitur Rahman Mosque in Maryland, USA, and at the same time inspected the new MTA facility.
Hazur was so happy, and Hazur talked to also the installer and asked him all the questions. Hazur was so happy. He said, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, now the inauguration of Baitur Rahman Mosque is going to be aired through our own station. So Hazur did mention about our station and how it was installed in the first inauguration sermon of Baitur Rahman.
I received a call in the next few days, and a lady picked up the phone from somewhere in the Midwest. I believe it was Colorado, one of those states.
Pretty far into the
Midwest. Yeah. And she started crying. And she wouldn't stop crying. And I said, she called the Earth Station, and she wouldn't stop crying. I said, what's going on? She said, I didn't know how I'm going to train my children. My children live hundreds and hundreds, or even 1,000 miles away from any programs or Jamaat programs, or where they can join or learn about the religion. She said, I was praying for a long time. And she said, Allah has answered my prayers. That's why I'm crying.
Alhamdulillah.
That this MTA, the broadcast of MTA, being able to listen to the Khalifatul Masih directly from his mouth, what he's saying, that, she said, means so much to me. So I just wanted to call and show my appreciation.
Alhamdulillah.
The Masroor Teleport facility has expanded over the years into a much larger building with an upgraded transmission center.
With the grace of Allah Almighty, right now we are 10 employees here, and we are transmitting MTA 8 after regionalization, along with that MTA 8 plus 3, MTA Arabia. 3 channels we are transmitting here with 10 languages and 1 main, and it is going to North America through satellite and as well as on the internet.
MTA Teleport के डायरेक्टर थे, लेकिन कोई नुमाइश और नुमा ये नहीं था कि मैंने ये काम किया और मेरी वजह से कामयाबी हो रही है. बड़ी आजिज़ से काम करने वाले थे, बल्कि दूसरों को क्रेडिट दे देते थे. मैंने देखा है बड़ी वफा के साथ उन्होंने अपना वक्त निभाया और बेलॉस होकर MTA को अमेरिका के बरआज़म में पहुंचाने की भरपूर उन्होंने कोशिश की। जो ईमानदारी से समझा, इसके बारे में बड़े अच्छे मशवरे दिए, मुझे भी लिखते रहते थे। आगे आके अपनी अहमियत बताने का शौक़ नहीं था, बस एक लगन थी कि जो काम खलीफा वक्त की तरफ से मुझे सपोर्ट किया गया है उसे मैं आसन रंग में पूरा करने की कोशिश करूँ। अल्लाह ताला इनसे मग़फ़िरत और रहम को सलूक फरमाए, इजाज़त बुलंद फरमाए।